Well, that's the fun stuff, you know.
Paul Walker.
Where's my dad? All right.
For Paul Walker.
You know, it's like, did you know what this was?
Paul Walker.
I like amusement parks.
Paul Walker.
We're making an action movie here.
Ah, shit. I did good, though.
Where's my dad? All right.
Is he here? Is he there? Where's my dad?
No,
All
it's,
right.
it's just my dad. He's playing a prank on us.
I just want to know where my dad is.
All right. Let's go for a little ride.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Paul Walker.
It's Hangin' from the Balcony with Sir Jarod, the Professor, Nathan Betts, Miss Professor, and Thomas the Doubter.
Oh, hi, listeners. Welcome to another episode of Hanging from the Balcony. I am at Sir Jarod, at Nathan O'Betts.
Hey.
The lovely striped duo themselves, Miss Professor and Mr. Professor.
Hello.
And Thomas the Doubter.
Yo.
Because he's full of hate and rage.
You want me to fix your microphone, Jabber?
Why? What's wrong?
I feel like you're like creeping into it.
I'm always like...
Oh, okay.
Like
All right, then never mind.
Whatever.
I just noticed it just now.
This is our podcast where we talk about movies and more movies and stuff about movies. Let's get right into it, as we always do, with new release movies. Oh, boy.
I think you're up first there, buddy.
I am up first. Okay, well, I saw Insidious 1 and 2. Ooh. And if you haven't seen a scary movie like these, is because these are just as shitty as the other ones. These are horribly shitty movies. That's the scariest scene, is the little face right there. That was the only part that was scary.
See, now I think that the mistake you're making is wanting to see a scary movie as opposed to a really cool movie.
Looks like Darth Maul back there.
These weren't cool movies.
They're so good.
No.
They're so good.
No, they are not.
The best thing about horror films is the atmosphere, and I think that these are so atmospheric. They're good. It creates tension. It's not just like jump out scary.
But it was trying to, like the beginning when Insidious pops up.
That's the best part.
And the music, it ruptures your eardrum.
It's brilliant.
No, it's horrible.
We love it.
I was so that pissed me off at the beginning of the movie. Like, okay,
we're just slapping like this.
You're done. You're done. Just
no, we love that stuff, and we may be the only two because we're in the audience.
Yeah.
Because it's like the filmmaker is just like, yes, this is what's happening right now, and it's in your face. They know that it's over the top. They know they're pushing it. Drag Me to Hell did the same thing.
Drag Me to
I
Hell.
loved
Fantastic
that movie.
credits.
Did you see
God.
Drag Me to Hell?
Yes,
Yeah.
I loved it.
So it kind of harkens back to old school, I think.
Well,
Yeah,
It's a throwback to old school.
It's going back to
Yeah.
that 70s cheap horror film where they were really trying to sell
What do you
something because it
expect?
was super low budget.
But it got really annoying when all the ghosts were showing themselves to you. I like the subtle stuff, like when she's walking down the hallway, and then you see that lady in the living room just kind of slow, and then as you go, and then she's gone.
Right.
Like that stuff's like, ooh, okay, this is cool. And then she's sitting there, and she's like, you need to leave. Okay, you just kind of spoiled the whole kind of getting you really creeped out by that. It just was too over the top for me.
Disco?
That's another
Oh, that's
part.
chapter 2. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the mom in chapter 2 who's
Yeah.
don't be a bad person, and she smacks him.
No, you're a girl. Remember?
Yeah, but remember,
you're not Parker. You're Mary Ann.
Yeah. So for me, I thought Insidious 2 or Chapter 2. You can't say. I don't think that it. Well, how many people can say that the second film in a series is the sequel's better than the first? It's really rare.
Yeah. I like the second one better too.
The second one was so good because it played off of the first, so you can't exist without the first film. So thank goodness for Insidious original.
But you kind of have to watch the first
You
one
have to watch the first one for the second one to make sense and for it to actually be cool. So I loved it. I really did.
I guess part of what I'm looking for in a horror film too is to upset the conventions that have become like normal. So one of the reasons I liked The Conjuring so much was they got away from the torture and the overdone blood everywhere. And I love that they got away. Well, this is a spoiler. On Insidious 2, no one dies.
Yeah, exactly.
No one dies in the whole movie. Sorry, I spoiled it.
Brilliant. In a horror film, in a scary ghost film,
no one does
nobody
that. And
dies.
so for me, I spend a lot of time going, whether it's scary, I mean, nothing really scares me. If I see a scary old lady going, I'm like, oh, okay, it's an actor. You know, like, oh, there's a demon standing behind him. But I don't really think, I don't go home and go, I hope there's no demons in my house.
Yeah.
Like, none of that sticks with me in any real way.
But that's what I want in...
Sorry. Sorry. I saw that and I had to click on it.
But that's what I like in a scary movie, though, is something that, like, when you like something that rests in the back of your head when you get home that makes you, like, turn on the light.
I don't know. This would make me crap my pants.
You know what I mean? Like, I want something that, like, really
it sounds
hit
like
me.
You guys are just different as far as what you want to have.
Yeah,
in a
could
movie.
be. That,
Jared's a thrill seeker. Who
I don't
wants,
really care about the gore. I
feel-
just want something that gives me the chills after I watch it. Like Candyman, when I first saw that as a child, I didn't want to go take a piss without having the lights on and using my foot to lift up in the toilet seat because I was making sure there's no bees in the toilet. That's what I like.
Right, and so I see Insidious 2, and I come out of it, and I'm like, I love that at the beginning, the kid stands up and he says, I'll show you, and he points, and the door goes,
which is
and I love
good.
that we find out later why. And to me, that was really fun.
Really good storytelling.
Yeah, that's
that's
all I'm looking for in a movie. Something that kind of ties together and makes sense. Where at the end, I felt like it all went together. Plus Patrick Wilson as a crazy person.
Oh yeah,
when he's the dad.
Oh
he starts going
Yeah.
nuts. I thought he
and he's
did
all
a
like,
great-
"Hey kids, let's go to school." And you're like, "No, don't go to school with him. He's fucking crazy."
Yeah.
What do you got behind your back? You roll the dice
Roll
and
the
find
dice.
out.
Yeah, that was fun.
Like, there's some things that are good, but overall, I wanted something that was going to legitimately scare me.
Right.
And it didn't scare me at all.
Fair enough.
So I gave it a giant steaming pile of shit.
Wow.
I think that might be too far, but fair enough. If
I
you
gave
really-
it a 3 out of 10.
If you want to be scared, like out of your nuts,
Gourd.
this isn't the movie to do it.
The other problem, though,
Maybe.
could have been that when we were there, it was high school kids and high school kids, and literally talked the entire movie.
Oh, come on!
No, that's bullshit.
Not even like legitimately was like
Talking
"So,
out loud.
Me and Stephanie, we were gonna go to the dance.
Punch
after
in the
this,"
face.
and
Yeah,
punch
punch
in the
him in the
face.
face.
Yeah.
And we're just everyone's like,
I think-
come on. Well, actually, not everyone, because it was all high school kids who were all getting in with each other's conversations.
Do you go to the movies at night?
We did, but it was also it was also on a random night where we were hoping no one would really
Yeah.
be there.
I think Derek wants to chime in on this. Actually,
All right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's hear it. Where's Derek?
Derek, can you hear us, buddy? Derek?
That's a no.
Well, we go matinee times because we're the youngest people in the room when we go at
If you go
at
to an
11
o'clock
o'clock.
screen,
Yeah,
you're the youngest
But-
person in the room.
Yeah.
It's also like, and it was a little
We
over.
try to.
It's over the top to me when you try to always
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
when you always like every time it's supposed to be a scary scene, like it has to show you that it's a scary scene by having that music be like beep, 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 beep. You know, and I don't
Does
like
it do
that.
that? I don't remember it doing
It did
for
it
all the scenes.
every single scary scene. The music gets really loud
No,
and
that
makes
was,
you like
that was the toddler toy that played the
no,
song.
no, like the actual.
I know, I'm kidding.
But
that was like
that was
really
creepy,
loud
though.
and creepy.
That toddler
Wasn't
But it
toy.
also annoys me
That
is
would've
how
been out
do you
of
not
my
know how to
house in
shut off a
2
toy that I'm
Nobody
pretty sure
does.
you put into your kid
Nobody
every day,
knows how to
but
turn
you're
that
like,
toy
oh, I
on."
don't know what I'm doing.
That fucking 2 seconds with that toy, it would have been out on the front lawn. That was the stupidest, scariest toy.
I think I fixed it.
What did we fix?
This call is for Nathan Betts from
Derek Young.
Press 1 to send the caller into voicemail.
You can call us at 1-888-317-2694. Derek, you're on the show, buddy. What's up? I think I figured it out this time.
Hi.
Fuck yes.
Hi, I'm watching the show live.
Hi.
Hi.
Plug.
We're delayed like 8 seconds.
No, I know. But it's just enough time for me to tell you the news.
Okay, what's the news?
Insidious, both of them sucked a bag of dicks.
Oh, come on.
Thank you, good sir.
But it seems to me having a dick suck is one of the most pleasant things that can happen. So you must have really loved it.
I would agree with that.
Touche.
I don't think there's anything better in life. Ask Conan.
So, do you agree with Jared on why it sucks a bag of dicks?
Was it the teenagers?
No, the reason why I didn't like it is because I want to not be able to sleep at night when I watch a movie about ghosts.
See, that's the same
Same as me.
Yeah, it is the same.
But
I want it to make me creeped out.
They want an emotional
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
response.
Conjuring was terrifying.
do you
No,
do you believe in
Insidious
ghosts?
was
it
terrible.
wasn't terrifying. Conjuring was not terrifying. It was good. I liked it, but it wasn't like poop my pants.
Okay, so like in the
This is why
Conjuring.
Insidious 1 was awful. Do you remember when that faggot with razor blades is sharpening his claws?
That's true.
No.
The devil
No,
at
I
the
don't
end.
remember that.
And he's playing the music and he's...
That's horrible.
And it's the clown music playing. Yeah.
Awful.
Okay, one bad moment that I don't recall because I've only seen Insidious 2 recently, but
Hey, Kim, when I like movies, I tend to remember them.
Yeah, I've seen too many movies to remember anything. I do have a question though. Like in The Conjuring, when the little girl's getting her leg tugged while she's in bed, did that scare you?
That's scary as shit.
yeah.
Okay, but is that because you believe at some point in your life that something might tug on your leg? Because see, I don't.
I don't know. Who the hell sleeps with their feet exposed?
Fair enough. I actually will once in a while, just because I'm not afraid. Just to show the world, I'll be
live
like,
on the edge. You like to live on the edge.
I literally like to roll one foot off and put it on the floor to freeze it, and then put it back in and put it on my wife.
just dangle it in front of the bottom of the bed.
I like to dip my hand in child blood and dangle it off the side of my bed.
But it's not even that you're actually terrified because you actually think it's going to happen, but it's that thing that's rolling in the back of your head,
Right.
though, that makes you like, ooh, what F? You know what I mean?
No, I like just
I
creepers.
don't think
just
that
like
ghosts
creepy
are going to
smart
really
stuff.
come up and be like, you're pretty, let me rub your face.
Yeah,
Like,
until
I
it
don't-
happens.
But then, yeah. But if
you're
it
gonna-
does, I'm going to be like, holy shit, that was in the movie Blood Ghost 14.
I saw Butt Ghost 14.
Butt Ghost is every
Get
one.
back to doing the
Blood
pod.
ghost.
Wait 1 second, guys. Derek, thank you for calling in, buddy. And
Thanks,
anyone
Derek.
else that wants to chime in, call at 1-888-317-2694. Thank you so much, Derek.
Can I do a quick plug?
Do it.
Butt Ghost 14.
Absolutely. Butt Ghost 14. Go.
By plug, I mean Lewis later tonight.
Ooh.
What's going on?
My.
Yes. Butt Ghost 14.
All right. That was his plug.
Okay.
You can check out Derek Yon, the Derek Yon Experience on timespentpoorly.com. Please check it out. It's a really
That was
funny show.
really
Yeah.
his plug.
So my question though, I have one for Thomas. What do you look for in a horror film? What gets you? Do you like horror films?
Not usually, but occasionally when I'm scared. A lot of it, stuff I don't understand or stuff that's out of my control, that scares me. Possession, if done right, scares me.
Thank you. Thank you.
what?
On my side. You're on my side. No, you're on my side.
Wait. No. Let's not jump to conclusions.
No, but at the same, don't get me wrong though. They have to be able to kind of create that atmosphere, and to do that, I do need some decent writing. and that's one of the big things that I really liked. The Conjuring.
I can say Insidious has good writing, but it falls flat for me.
Well, I didn't think The Conjuring was really that, like Kim said. I didn't find it terrifying at all. Like, to be honest, like it did a really good job making a creepy mood, but that just progressed the story in like a fantastic way, like in a believable way, and and in that it just made a perfect.
When I was a teenager, I had no friends, so I'd spend my afternoons like renting comedies, and I would watch comedy after comedy after comedy and not laugh. I'd come home, I'd watch the movie, I'd go back to the video store and be like, you got anything else? And I couldn't figure out why I wasn't finding anything funny. And finally I went to the horror section, and I started to realize that all the best movies were in the horror section, because either they were legitimately scary or whatever else, or they were bad and I would laugh at them. And so I've got this place in my heart where this part of me that just loves horror film, because maybe it's because they're all so low budget that they're able to do things that other movies aren't able to do. Like if I go see the next Transformers, I know step by step how that story is going to progress. There's not going to be some moment where I'm like, oh, that's an unexpected turn. Like every Transformers is the same. But when I watch a horror film, we can wander off with the mom in Insidious 2 with the mom and these two guys in ties or whatever, and some old man through a haunted house for 10 minutes. Normally that scene doesn't get put in a film because it's just out of place, but it works. And I
disagree though. Horror movies can most actually play out just like a Transformers movie in regards to they're very predictable, especially when you have the formula.
She's gonna run over here. This is going to happen.
They can be, but when
she's the slut, she's gonna die. He's the jock, he's gonna die.
If a movie breaks that, it's gonna be a horror film. That's where you get Cabin in the Woods or The Conjuring. These are movies that figured out what the genre is expecting, and they're willing to flip it. But they can, because their budgets are so small, and horror movies always make money. And so they're willing to try things that sometimes it doesn't always work, but I think they push the boundaries more than most other genres of film.
It's almost October, so obviously Halloween, scary movies stuff. Would you guys say that Insidious 2 is better or worse than The Conjuring?
I liked it more, but just by a hair.
And I do realize you'd have to watch the first one.
Yeah.
And that's
You'd have to watch them both.
Yeah.
You can't watch Insidious 2 without watching it. And
I thought it was good. I really did like it.
It's totally dependent on
the first one. Has you going until the end, and then the demon dude, when you see what it is when it ruins it for me. But like the rest of it's creepy, and where you're like, ooh, okay. Some of it is over the top with the music, the sound that has to crank up, which is that's just annoying to me.
Annoying, but like for us, we're kind of like giddy. I just loved all the high pitched strings and the piano. It's just like classic horror.
That's the classic. That's the classic like, and then the girl's like, "Ooh, I'm scared." Right. But to me, it like makes me feel like I have to be like retarded to like understand this is scaring me right now.
Yeah, no. When
but
that
the title
happens,
sequence is never
scared.
trying to scare you, but it still does it.
Yeah.
And so I think it's kind of being funny. And so I think there's a lot what Lewis is saying, where if a horror film's not good, it's funny. And so both ways, if it sucks or if it's awesome, we're having a good time.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's the point. I always have a good
I think
time.
we view.
Well, and
I shouldn't say always.
In the
Sinister,
second one,
I didn't like.
Sinister was poop.
Well, it was. It was really good at the beginning, and then it died
it was good
horrible
at the beginning.
death. Yeah, like the beginning when it's just the beginning when it's oh yeah, they're jumping off the table. I'm a little lizardy guy. But the beginning when it's playing that eerie music and it's just showing that old video film and then the family get, like by nothing, creepy. That's scary.
Yeah.
To me. But then
so.
but then it just dies.
So what's the scariest movie that everyone's seen? Pick your scariest.
Well, that's easy.
What's yours, Thomas?
Well, I was like, I don't know, 6th or 7th grade. It's not a great horror movie, but at the time it terrified me, like to the point where I had a hard time going downstairs in my own house. It was House on Haunted Hill. The remake, obviously.
I had you down for The Happening.
No. Well, yeah, in 6th, 7th grade. How old do you think I am?
I don't know.
No. It just the sound
12.
effects were really creepy. Like it almost sounded like they're playing like a cello backwards, as far as to make some of the weird ghostly sounds. The way the some of the ghosts moved almost mechanically. I couldn't wrap my head around it, so it terrified me. And yeah, it was just in that, and it was actually only the first quarter or third of the movie that terrified me. The rest of it was kind of blah, but just stuff like that, like the creepy sounds, the weird movements.
So House on Haunted Hill, is this the remake or the original? Remake.
Yeah.
What about you, Jared?
Gory movies don't ever scare me. I think they're funny to me. Watching someone just like, because it's fake,
right?
Clearly. As a child, the one that mortified me the most, Candyman, like I said, until an adult, and I watched it, and I'm like, wow, this was a giant pile of shit. I don't know why I was scared, but it also could have been that my brother liked to, whenever I was going to the bathroom, my brother would turn out the light and go, Candyman, Candyman, Candyman. And I'd go like, "Goo!" Pee on the floor and run out, right?
You hear that drizzle?
But as an adult, the only one that really has got me, which was Fourth Kind, which is as I talked about before.
Oh, Fourth Kind.
But I don't know why.
Alien abductions.
Yeah, alien-y kind of thing, which is the only one that really has got me.
Did you ever see Fire in the Sky?
No.
Oh.
Nathan?
You guys are gonna be really disappointed by my sob story.
Is it Sweet Home Alabama?
It really is, actually. Terrified me to the core of my being. Wasn't allowed to watch any of this growing up, so I don't have one from when I was growing up.
Well,
and
I just
don't
meant
either.
ever.
And I don't, and I've even more pathetically haven't really watched anything since. And I feel like I've listening to you guys.
You've never been scared by a movie?
No.
Okay.
But listening to you guys, wax on like you are, I'm feeling like I missed out on a lot of fun things.
Just watch any Halle Berry movie or
right.
Carter movie.
That'll just make me.
They're terrifying
barf
enough right there.
I have gone back and tried to catch up on some things, and like Jared said, watching them as an adult, it's just not the same. I have caught up with Candyman. I had caught up with Hellraiser, which I could see would have scared the shit out of me had I seen it at the time, but I was raised on Gospel Bill and all kinds of Christian shit.
What about you, Kim?
Boring stuff.
I don't know. I've got the worst memory in the world, so I can't remember
Can't even
anything.
remember her good
Derek.
movies.
Yeah. Do what?
I'm kidding.
No, so I remember,
Right,
this
it's
is the worst story in the world. I can't believe I'm telling you this. So I watched a movie when I was in college, and it scared me, and I was alone, and I remember I had to call somebody. I don't even remember what the movie was.
Well, that is a bad story.
No, okay, I don't know. What
You're
scared
gonna need
me?
to find this movie.
Well, what movie have I seen with you? I've been with you for like 20 years.
When I was a kid, the scariest movie was Poltergeist, and when I watched it again as an adult, I was like, these special effects are horrendously bad. So then I wasn't scared. But then, for me, the scariest movie out there currently is Session 9.
That's in my queue. I haven't watched it yet.
And it's more of a creepy.
It's creepy.
Movie. There's no jumping
it's
out.
Like creepy thriller. Not even thriller, but kind of.
There's this scene where the kid's running down the hall and the lights start going out, and that moment for me, I was just like, I felt what he was feeling. And
you know what? Here's my cheat. Scariest thing I've seen is American Horror Story, and it's a cheat because it's a TV show.
Oh,
but it freaking scares the crap out of me every single time.
Episode 2.
Episode 2, season 1, and then the whole show itself has a fantastic, horrific vibe.
It's got a really good tone to it,
and it
yeah,
scares me.
definitely.
We had to stop watching it at night this last season because we both went to bed and had nightmares. So that's the scariest thing I've experienced.
I found it went downhill after the Down syndrome girl died.
Season 2 was super. Super.
I realized
She's back in season 3.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Different.
I realized that Signs isn't a very good movie, but when
Why say that?
Well, there's a. I mean, if you go
because the twist isn't very good.
No, that's
but the first half hour or so.
It was the first time I saw a horror movie with a minimalist approach as far as he turns his flashlight and all you see is a foot stepping into the corn, and that
Yeah,
like the
that's
entire
good.
movie, I was in a sweat the whole movie.
Yeah,
seeing
that's great.
just seeing the figure on top of the barn,
And then him just hovering there.
Which is what Insidious 2
That
has.
sucked.
That is the one thing that I like because it creeped me out. Was she's walking
Yeah.
by you? It's not focusing on at all. It's
Right, I know the
barely
scene you're talking
seen.
about. You just kind of go.
And it's
Oh, shit.
it's in the first one too. When the little boy's running around in the house, and she's walking, she's picking up the laundry, and there's a kid facing the wall, just standing there. You wouldn't see it. Like we had to have someone else who's watching before. It was like, look, I never saw this until till now, and then we rewind it, and then you see this kid just standing there facing the wall, and it's really like creepy shit like that.
Nice.
That's what I like.
Nice.
I like that too.
Did you think
actually.
The Shining was scary when you first saw it?
Yeah.
I didn't see it until I was in
Yeah.
high school, and it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah,
What scared
I think
me
so
was
too.
the
Me
little girls
too.
in the hallway.
Right.
Sure.
Like when I was younger, and I realized my mind wasn't fully, it's fully developed. But when I was watching it, I almost felt like I was losing my mind in regards to how slowly it introduced you to more and more just these weird, twisted psychological, ghosts and apparitions, and they didn't make sense, but they just got bigger and weird, stranger as far as. And I think movies that can kind of at least jiggle someone's mind and get you out of that state of logic and like that can't happen. I think they have a lot of success with actually breaking into the emotional side and where you actually get scared. Where you're actually sweating as you watch the movie.
Yeah.
But not very many movies can do that.
Fun little topic.
What did you guys watch that's new?
Oh, we saw. What did we see, Kim?
I don't know what.
Stranded?
Oh, I saw. Kim went out of town, so I saw Stranded and Star Crash. I watched them by myself. Both watch now on
Stranded's
Netflix.
the one with Brendan Fraser, right?
No,
No, that
Stranded
was-
stars Vincent Gallo, and if you want to see one of the worst movies I've
I'll think of it in a
ever
sec.
seen, simply watch the first minute, and the acting is so bad in the first minute that you'll think this must be a trick. Like this can't be the actual acting.
Kind of like the opening to Team America, where they have the little fake puppets, and you're like, "Is this whole show gonna be stupid
Right,
puppets like
you
that?"
think it's that, but the trick with Stranded is it's that bad the whole time.
no.
I've never sat through, and I don't know why I kept sitting
The Room?
through it. I just kept no. The Room is watchable. It's terrible, but it's watchable because it's bad. This is just it's a tragedy that this movie was made. It's horrendous. But don't watch Stranded. And then the other one I watched,
Standoff.
Star Crash, I think is what Thomas intended when he assigned us Death Stalker. Star Crash is a science fiction movie, but it's super low budget. It's clearly trying to play off of the Star Wars craze that happened like 2 years earlier. And I think it's even one word, Star Crash. It's so cheesy. But it's not terrible, right? Like you'll kind of have it's this one.
Oh my god! Look at the cover.
Yes.
that is Star Wars.
Still not as good as
It's actually
Deathstalker's cover.
Deathstalker's cover is pretty bad.
But see this guy on the cover that has like the
Lightsaber-y
sword
looking thing?
It's
Yeah.
clearly a lightsaber in the movie. Like they clearly are ripping off, and he's this kind. I don't know what he is. He's got this cool white man fro, and it's just terrible. Christopher Plummer is in it. David Hasselhoff is in it.
Oh
as the
yes,
twins.
totally watching it
And
now.
it's not good, but it's not bad. Like it's so cheesy and weird, but it's I kind of got through it, and I was like, all right.
And the villain in the background kind of has a Darth Vader helmet.
Yeah, that's
Sorta.
not that guy's not even in the
Or
movie.
that's just
None of these people are in the only
Oh.
one is the guy in red. Like the
Oh.
girl doesn't look anything like that. She doesn't dress like that. She's not.
No.
She's
But it says she's a sexy space smuggler.
named Stella Star.
Stella Star, space smuggler.
And there's a
God, you
There's
sound
a-
like when you say it
This
like
is-
that. I'm
in this racy sci-fi flick.
yeah.
You mean he's the racy one?
There's
70s
no
porno.
raciness. This one, see now this isn't like Deathstalker was all boobs. There's no boobs in this one.
All
Right?
boobs. There were boobs and butts. There were lots of butts in that
Yeah,
one too.
I don't even know what you guys
There
were
was
talking about.
everything.
There is a robot. There's a police robot after
Sound
her,
like you
but
really
she's a-
like Deathstalker.
She's a smuggler. Yeah.
Come on. You didn't even finish it. That's what I
was bad.
fucking heard.
It
And
was
guess what?
bad.
I sat through that shit, okay?
Nice.
Because
Why
you
didn't
finish it.
why
You
didn't you
finish
get
a
up?
movie.
Why didn't you just get up and go play with the dogs?
I remember that part.
Yeah, that's
There.
funny.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's the pig man,
God.
obviously.
That's supposed to be the pig man.
Who makes out with the
God.
pig head?
So bad.
God, that was such a bad movie.
No, but I think Star Crash is what Thomas was hoping
Okay.
for when he assigned Best
Okay,
Stalker.
that's good to know.
I didn't.
Nathan's
have
We're the Millers.
I went to We're the Millers, yeah, on date night. Woo, date night.
And this is
We're
the one-
Millers.
This is the one where what's her face is a stripper.
Jason
right?
Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis.
and
Jason Sudeikis is
He's
a
the stripper, and Jennifer Aniston is the drug dealer.
Yeah.
Jason Sudeikis is a drug dealer. Jennifer Aniston is a stripper. There's a vagrant that's outside of his apartment building where Jason Sudeikis lives, and that's the other girl that gets pulled into it. And then his landlord's son gets pulled into this whole fiasco too, because the landlord is just always out fucking other people. She's never home. So Jason Sudeikis goes to talk to his dealer, or he deals for Ed Helms. I can't remember what his name is, but he's got like this ginormous mansion, and in his office he got himself a killer whale. He's like, he's just standing there. All of a sudden, this killer whale just goes. You see it in the preview, so I'm not spoiling anything. But this thing just goes floating by. He's like, "What the fuck, man?" He's like, "Yeah, I got a shit ton of money, and I'm kind of bored, so I got a killer whale." So he sends him after these drugs. He's like, "Yeah, you're supposed to go get these from Pablo. What's his name? Blah blah blah." You meet these guys, and just all you have to do is drive it back. And he's like, "Well, how the fuck am I supposed to do that?" So he devises this plan, and a bunch of shit goes down, and the poor kid gets bit in the dick by a spider. Like, all this shit happens.
Isn't it? He gets all these unlikely people to act like a family,
Right. So,
that
yeah.
he can fool the
So,
border
yeah.
patrol or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
so he's not so much concerned going into Mexico as he is coming back out of Mexico.
Sure.
So they're acting like this happy little family that went on a nice little weekend excursion or whatever, and they all have on their sombreros when they go through the border patrol, and they're just about to get busted, and a bunch of shit goes down, and they make it through, and they're, and then
Is it funny?
it's really, there's some parts that are really, really funny to it. Nick Offerman is in it.
Nice.
And their scenes, all of their scenes are hilarious. He turns out to be, I can't spoil that part. It'll be a pretty bad spoiler. It turns out to be an important, integral part later towards the end, where they shouldn't be hanging out together at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a really fun, awkward, like, sex scene moment where there's a bit of confusion amongst couples, and I'll just leave it at that. That's really funny. There's a lot of really good jokes to it. Has a nice Hollywood happy ending to it.
So,
But I would definitely go see it at like
Dollar
the
Theater?
Dollar Theater. I would definitely see it at the Dollar Theater. I would actually definitely see it again. Like when it goes to the
Really?
Dollar Theater, I'd probably watch it a second time if anybody wanted to go, or type of a thing. So I thought it was good. I don't know about everyone else.
You just want to see Jennifer.
That's
Aniston
all you
stripping
think I
it.
want to fucking see, you dick. You just recommended a fucking movie last time that all there was tits and ass in it.
To be fair, there was a pig man on the front.
There
and
was
a
a pig
barbarian.
man. There,
And you didn't watch it all.
I watched.
Oh wait,
it.
sorry,
That
that's
was
Jared. That was
Yeah.
Jared.
And you did it as Snow White or Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, and I openly admitted that's the only reason I wanted to see that.
That's why I assume.
I would definitely watch it at the Dollar Theater or rent it if it comes to
Okay.
the Red Box, because
Awesome.
I liked it. I thought it was good, and but I love Jason Sudeikis though, so take that with a grain of salt if you
fair
want.
enough. So what about Jared? I guess you said you saw Riddick and
Yeah.
Iron Man 3.
I watched Riddick and Iron Man 3. For Iron Man 3, I watched for the first time and very disappointed in it. I didn't like how easily his suits just fell apart when he was fighting those dudes. And Iron Man didn't really feel like Iron Man to me. He didn't feel like
He was MacGyver man.
Was he MacGyver man?
it was just kind of.
Well, I think the whole point of when you see Iron Man, it's power,
Yeah.
strength, durability.
And
he
he's
goes toe to toe with Thor, and then he's just getting torn
Annihilated by a
apart.
semi. Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
I get that these people are heating it, but that also doesn't make sense. Like, none of them should have sleeves then, because their hands are able to melt metal, but not a polo T-shirt. Apparently,
That's a good point. I never even noticed that.
If you fall into lava, just pop your collar and you're good. So that Iron Man 3, yuck.
Okay, and what about Riddick?
And then Riddick, I loved Riddick.
I did too. I watched
gave
it with him.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I loved
10 out of 10.
10
Wow.
I loved
out of
it.
10.
Wow.
Even
It's-
when they were having that bike fight.
It's just, it's pretty much a copy and paste of Pitch Black.
Did anyone
To a T.
else see the fucking
Ish.
Superman seat grab that he does over the fucking
yeah.
What's
alien?
his Superman
Me and
secret?
Nathan went and
He's-
saw it together,
When
and
he's holding
He's on
to
the
bike.
biker thing and he pushes it out in front of him and he's doing
He
this
hits-
badass
he- when
trick
they're
while he's
flying,
he
flying
hits
over the
jump
aliens.
and does the
And
Superman
what
with the
was
bike.
the reason
a
for that?
classic
No reason
It's like
whatsoever.
it's pretty much saying
Guys,
triple
if
X, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Call out, he
Yeah.
called, this is a call out to Triple X.
Yeah.
I personally think he was just hiding his body heat
Yeah.
from the monsters,
Yeah.
but it
Or
just
I thi-
happened to look cool.
I think
mean,
it was trying to
you
make
know.
it seem like he was losing the bike and he's like holding on like, oh shit. But
Amy leans over me at that moment and taps me. She's like, "What the fuck just happened?" I was like, "Just go with it. He's trying to be cool."
That is exactly
I kind of
he
didn't
was.
like the ending though. The ending just didn't seem.
Are you
very-
talking about just the whole ending, or are you talking about the?
No, I'm talking about the
face
spaceshipy,
the face to face in the
flying
spaceship
Okay.
thing.
around. And then the kid that's I'm not
that
sure
kid
what-
was my favorite.
who's just like
He had no point of there's no
he's,
reason for him
he's
to
just he's hanging on to the old dude like
Yeah, we're
Hey.
gonna totally do it later.
I know.
this is my man now.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said, Kim, is this? Are
they?
I was waiting
Are
for him to
they?
like nuzzle him with his nose.
Yeah,
Like,
it's weird.
He's gonna
And
go
where was
finger
she?
my bottom
Yeah.
later.
She wasn't in either ship.
but yeah,
Where was she?
No, she was in the main one because that's
But
what
where-
that's what he says. He goes and tell her to keep the bed warm for me.
Yeah.
Oh, and all that stuff. Give me a break.
yeah, all of that
Like,
was a little unnecessary.
With him on her, and then she's
Yeah.
like, ooh, she
Yeah.
plops down right on him, and you're
Yeah.
like, what's going on here?
But
She was hot,
but
though.
Really, your heart
Yeah.
melted.
No. I'm sorry.
And she
he's
she
steamy,
legitimately looks like she could beat the shit out of
Yeah.
everybody.
I would allow her to beat the shit out of me on
Katie
purpose.
said- have you all watched Battlestar Galactica?
No.
No.
we're
You can
not
see
nerds.
now why she
Whoa.
plays as. You're not? You can
All
see
she
why
ever
she
does is play
plays.
badasses.
She plays
Yeah.
a badass person, though, right? You buy her
Always.
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
a tough guy. She's
Yeah.
good at that.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen a full episode, but I always disliked her just because it almost looked like she was trying too hard to be a badass. But I never watched the series, obviously, so I can't.
Yeah.
That's just me going on first appearances. But obviously, she can play a badass after watching
Yeah.
the new Riddick movie.
No, but the first, like the first 45 minutes, I guess, of the film was just super with him. Just,
It was
yeah.
just
like,
him surviving. That was so cool.
So good.
I was kind
That's her right
That
there.
was
God,
awesome.
she's hot.
I was kind of disappointed that they didn't show more of what everybody hates, which is more of the necromongers. Because I want to see Riddick get like his.
Hey, at least
His back to it, you know.
His buddy was in it
Yeah.
for 5 minutes.
I
Carl Urban with
And
his
as soon as I
2-second shot.
as soon as I saw him, I think I looked to you and I
Yeah,
go,
you're like,
I go judgment.
Judgment Day.
But yeah, and I love the dog.
The
Yeah.
dog was great.
I was like,
Yeah.
Dog was
wow,
cool.
He likes the puppy, and then
The dog was really
Oh,
cool.
you know that's gonna happen. You
No,
just,
I think he's. Are we referring to the poison?
yeah,
As far as
well, like
it's a puppy.
yeah, and then he's just like, take it, and you're like, oh
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's like and starts injecting him.
Yeah.
Well, he's just seeing if he would survive.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And he can always go get another one. There was like 8 more in that cave.
But yeah,
yeah, Riddick was good.
Riddick was good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
It was
It's
good.
fun.
It was a fun movie.
Almost as good as Pitch Black.
I almost
I
wish
will
they,
be
like we
buying
keep
that
saying it, like the first 20, 30 minutes of
Yeah.
him surviving, just him learning about the fauna as we learned was just
Yeah.
cool because
I really like that. And I also like when the bad guys or the bounty hunters first show up and he just kind of like the one guy's like, hey Frank, and he looks back and all you see is just the second of him walking into the shadows
Yeah.
behind the guy.
does
Like those moments I was like, oh, he's so
Yeah,
bad.
that is cool.
You know? Like those moments were
good.
great.
Yeah. No, and yeah, just seeing, and it was creative not having Riddick for so long. You know,
Yeah.
another 20 minutes without Riddick, and you just see their side of you have no idea what he's doing, obviously.
Yeah.
But
well, when he's coming at him with the daggers and getting the shot, you're like, come
Yes.
on! He's so awesome.
Yeah, that was very cool. I liked it.
Fun
movie.
Yeah, I'll most likely be buying that one.
Oh, yeah.
So
Def.
that's how I rate my movies.
I'll buy it. I think that's all for our new stuff. I do have this trailer that I wanted to watch like 2-3 weeks ago.
A little while ago. Yeah.
It's called The Neighbors. We didn't watch this, so let's watch this trailer for real
You
quick.
might need to turn this up for me over there on that board.
Oh, I will.
Thanks.
9:10, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Oh, you might have to unmute it.
Oh, that would help.
Hi, it's a fabulous neighborhood.
Look, new neighbors.
Oh. Is that a fraternity?
I think they'll like us.
We're cool.
Yeah. Wicca, what's up? Hey, homies.
Dave Franco.
Yeah, Dave Franco.
Yes.
What's going on out there?
Oh, Jesus.
Cute baby.
Are you ready for a show?
Sorry, my ball just got in your face.
Stop doing this stupid shit.
Why are you dressing up like Robert De Niro?
Are you talking to me? What do you got there, sweetie? Is that a balloon?
Oh, shit, that's not a balloon. They don't know who they are fucking with.
You have no idea what you started. Welcome to the darkness, bitches.
I think the frat broke into the car and stole all the airbags.
So weird.
Why would they just break in and steal the airbags?
I don't know. We should follow police. Delta Psi has the upper hand.
That looks
I haven't even heard of that.
really
I haven't
funny.
either.
That
Right?
looks great.
Yeah, Rose Byrne, your favorite from Insidious.
Yes.
Yeah,
But we
she's-
saw Dave Franco. You guys know
Yeah.
Dave Franco.
Did you see him in the back of the...
Yeah.
Just doing the...
He's such a good
the
douche.
De Niro?
Yeah, I know.
Have you guys all seen
Yeah.
Taxi Driver?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Just so you get the De Niro joke.
Yeah.
Well,
talking to me?
Yeah, it's pretty popular icon, him talking in the
It is
mirror.
pretty popular.
But I haven't seen
That's
the movie.
Sometimes I don't know what to do with movies like that because they're too serious at some points, but then they're really funny at other points, and I'm not sure where it's going or how far they're gonna go because some things are like serious.
What do you call that? Black comedy or
ish?
Well,
yeah.
It's potentially a tone problem if they don't like This Is the End didn't have this problem because it was just fucking ridiculous the whole way. You know, like they start you out with Michael Cera with the juice box and
You know, sippy cup.
so you
and
start out there and
sippy drink.
so no matter it's crazy the whole time. Whereas you worry when you see this, like, are they going to have a moral?
like
to the story?
having sex by the porch, harmless, possibly offensive or
Yeah.
rude, but it's just like harmless. But then when he gets the airbags, he could break his neck. I mean,
Yeah.
like if they really wanted to be
For some
reality.
reason I thought we were talking about a Taxi Driver. Before you mentioned that the preview we just saw. No, but I see. No, I wouldn't label probably that a black comedy. The movie we just
okay.
saw.
I was about to say,
I'd say
it's-
black is more of the darker side
Yeah,
of human
yeah.
nature rather than. I know
Black
we-
comedy is
It
more
looks
like God
interesting,
Bless
though.
America, right?
Oh
Yes.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
Yeah.
That's
Perfect
For sure.
example.
A good
Great
movie
movie.
that we all agree.
yeah.
What?
I wrote down a couple news things about Star Wars. The big rumor is that they're casting for a skinny 7-foot tall person. So everyone thinks this means that Chewbacca will be in the next Star Wars movie.
Nice.
Even though, and I think they've already confirmed that like Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher and those
Yeah.
guys will be in it. Hopefully for like 5 minutes, right?
Well,
where,
at least
where our main characters will be like Mom and Dad and Han Solo. will be like,
Carrie
"These kids."
Fisher's fine, but I don't know about Harrison Ford being in it
Fucking
very
old
long
guy.
because he obviously
Well,
hates.
yeah, you need
He's
to-
either
you need-
high or he hates life. I can't tell.
He is-
First they attack the Earth.
And then don't forget to take those power converters and.
Okay. And then the other thing, Thomas brought up that some of the Star Wars movies might be prequels, and the word is that Disney wants to do a number of origin stories. So you'll get a movie that'll be
would be
like
cool.
young Han Solo or young Boba Fett, and you'll get a whole movie just about them.
Yeah.
That would be
as-
cool.
Which is what I heard a while back, that it was supposed to be Yoda first. Which,
Yeah, young Yoda, right?
Gross.
Could you imagine a whole movie of just following him
Boba
around?
Fett would be cool. Can you imagine him?
Sandwich this good
Yeah.
is.
High school, not good.
Acting, I have. Boba Fett would be cool.
Boba Fett would be good.
Boba Fett would
Han
be
Solo
cool.
would be
If
really
anyone.
great.
I mean,
Jabba the Hutt, young Jabba.
Luke probably wouldn't be.
he was athletic back then.
Back when he was a little guppy.
Yeah, we already saw young Luke enough. He was a
I
little
was
whiny.
thinking,
Yeah,
bitch.
we've already seen his origin story, right?
Yeah, but it's so good. Why are you making it?
But no, it's
It's
fine.
called
but
Star Wars.
We are, we got
okay.
episode 4, so we don't need another one. We don't need
Hopefully
2 Spider-Man origin stories like we've already got.
No, I understand.
Hopefully they'll do a Darth Vader.
That would be
prequel. That'd be great. One that,
cool.
one that
Like
matters.
maybe like three
Three of them,
prequels,
yeah.
Maybe.
where we could find out like how he
Yeah.
built C-3PO and
where
how,
he's just
God.
How he meets a racist
how he's just an
dude.
annoying kid, and then he becomes like a whiny
and
teenager.
he's like yippee as he's driving his spaceship. That'd be
who's
awesome.
addicted to like milk. Yeah.
Oh, I hate sand. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Like that's the actual dialogue from. I hate
coarse.
sand.
It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
It gets in your fucking everywhere. It's the
I
worst.
I don't remember that, thankfully.
You actually, every once in a while, I realize I probably need to go back and watch those old Star Wars just so I can remember. Oh yeah, these are horrible.
Well, if you do, will you invite Amy and I over because she hasn't seen 1 through 3 yet?
Kim's not seen them either.
We should
And
make that.
I purposefully have not.
Let's
like,
make a night of
ever.
it
It's
sometime.
been a-
You could watch him with me because all I do is go to every lightsaber battle, and then that's the movie.
The
It's like
only,
cool
good part,
lightsabers.
the only good part's
Done.
John Williams. Just saying.
No, but you're right.
Touché.
The first movie.
So just play it black.
If
and just hear
you
the
just
music.
show
Dual Fates.
what is it, Darth Sidious? Who's the red face guy? Darth Sidious.
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul. If you only show Darth Maul's scenes, the first movie's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's also only like
Got a
8
good
minutes
point.
long.
It's 8 minutes, but
Yeah.
it's the best 8 minutes.
Yeah, Darth Maul is the
And
shit.
then the rest of that movie is just
Garbage.
Yeah.
it just shits on your childhood.
As soon as he gets, spoilers, cut in half.
pukes in your soup.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was my Star Wars news.
Actually, another thing I did hear was that J.J. Abrams said he wanted to make them more real.
Mm-hmm. With like Muppets and shit, as opposed to all computer graphics.
good. Good for
I'm
him.
so glad.
Going back to the roots.
So
Good for
And
glad
then
to hear that.
IMAX, I also heard they want to do. They're going to film it with IMAX cameras too. So,
Wow.
yeah, I think that's about it for.
It's guaranteed money. Whatever they make, they're gonna make. People are gonna. It doesn't matter if the prequels were the worst movies ever. It's still, we're all still going.
Yeah.
You know, Star Wars 7 comes out. We're not gonna be like, nah, I was disillusioned. We're gonna go, especially because they've made it so public that George Lucas isn't part of it.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
All right. On to our homework. Wow, we're getting rather far into this. We're an hour in.
That's a little bit skewed.
On to our homework, which was Nathan's pick.
Yeah, my turn.
Which was
It's a disaster.
Skywalker we're after.
It's a disaster has what's her face and what's his nose.
Yeah.
Julia Stiles and David Cross and America Ferrera was in it, and I forget the rest of the people's names because they weren't important enough.
And then
What?
the main the main girl, is that like the sister of the chick from Insidious? Like she looks surprisingly
No, she's
close.
from Children's Hospital.
Yeah, she's on Children's
Yeah,
Hospital.
the tall one that's getting the divorce.
Yeah.
That's hosting.
She looks
Yes.
she
Yeah.
looks amazingly close to the chick from Insidious, to
No.
the mom in Insidious.
Yeah, they're not
No,
related.
they're not.
But if you don't
The
watch
whole time I
Children's
was like, are
Hospital,
they
you should check it out.
sisters?
No.
No. So what'd you guys think?
I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it. But I liked it more than I hated it.
Okay.
But I don't know. It wasn't like it's not a movie that I'll watch again, so that's why I kind of didn't. It's just like, oh, okay, that wasn't bad. It
5 or
wasn't,
6
It
out of
wasn't
10.
bad. I wasn't like, ugh, this is awful. I gave it a 5 out of 10, just because I probably won't ever watch again.
What
A
about
lot
you,
of funny
Nathan?
parts.
I loved it. That's why I wanted to see what everyone else thought. I thought it was really funny.
I wasn't a huge fan. Like, I saw its charm, and it was like it got my attention at first, but as I watched it, it's just like the characters are like believable, but then they reach this point where it's like they're not believable, but they're not going outrageous. So it's just kind of this like they're just playing these stereotypes, and then
that they're kind of stuck with at that point,
yeah,
sort of.
and then the character development of a couple of the characters don't really make sense. Like maybe if we had a little more background on a couple of the other characters, the intelligent girl that was there almost seemed like she was just there to give knowledge of what's going on, rather than, hey, why is she, why does she want to do drugs now? I mean, has she lived, has she been a little introverted person, or you don't learn very much about her. And then like
they do kind of explain it away in just a couple sentences of dialogue.
That's a valid point. I mean, one minute she's like, I'm gonna do drugs, and we all, I guess, assume that she's the kind that would never do this normally, right? But that's an assumption we make. They don't explicitly let us know that.
Yeah, I mean, and the acting wasn't bad, but nonetheless, the cocaine thing kind of broke up the I don't know, the mood for me, I guess. Like I was saying, they're all believable. Then you find out that they had cocaine before. Everyone slept with everyone. People are just, I don't know. It just the mood shift kind of threw me off. And
What's
then
the cocaine?
I don't remember the cocaine thing either.
The
crazy girl
hippie,
in
the hippie couple did cocaine the night before the brunch.
And the girl hadn't
said,
slept.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I completely forgot about that.
And to be honest, the ending was funny to a point, but there was a few things that like they just kind of threw out there that I didn't quite understand. I realized that cross. I mean, that was hilarious. The twist on that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
that was a good.
I did not see that coming. That was really
and
funny.
we should have, because she says,
they're always
everyone,
crazy.
every
She
single
says
one of
it,
them.
and we don't expect it.
The one thing that like, and it's really small, but it bugged me for some reason, is I wish they gave him a different kind of Christian religion, because he's Catholic, yet he wants everyone to commit suicide.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
like a big no-no.
Valid point.
Good point.
So
that's a good point.
And he was obviously hardcore.
Should have made him Baptist or something.
Yeah, he needed to be a little bit more.
A little bit one of the liberal ones.
But there was some good writing. There were some moments, and a lot of the characters were fun, especially at first. But it just kind of fell apart during the second half for me.
My favorite scene was.
No, don't tell me it's mine. Okay. Say yours.
I was gonna say by far my favorite scene was the late couple.
Yes, that's mine too.
And
Jenny, you are always
late. Maybe if you're on time.
And then they keep the door shut, and then they show their bodies like 4 times in cutaway shots. Their dead bodies on the stairs.
And then more and more dead crows. Awesome. I love those cutaways. They're so great.
And then they're like, yeah, that was harsh. Was it
a little bit? Was it a little over the top? Yeah.
Like the fact that she killed them.
Allowed them to die.
It's more about like what she said to them.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
Literally the last thing she said to her friend. Yeah.
Well, in the way that they're laying out in front.
And the guy's
it isn't like they're like laying against a wall, like one sprawled out down the stairs.
Yeah.
The other one's kind of like
and they're still carrying the dessert.
Well, we tried. We tried. Yeah, well, you always do.
You
could do better.
You did
brunch.
try.
You didn't try.
Every brunch.
Maybe
you'll learn.
But what, in the next 2 minutes or no?
That was my favorite.
I thought that scene was was priceless by far.
I actually also liked
the other one.
When the neighbor came over.
The neighbor, yes,
that was good.
Who turns out he was the director.
Director.
Yeah, those. And to be honest, I wish there was a little more humor with that mood or tone.
Yeah.
Yes.
It could have gone a little further.
So you must have lost my invite then.
I know.
It was more of a couple saying, so I just...
Since I got divorced.
So since I got divorced, I'm just not invited around anymore. It's not like that.
Yeah.
Well, I really like the couple that's getting divorced or whatever, when they're talking to Julia Stiles' character, and the husband or whatever is like, if you just want to talk to Tracy from now on and not me, that's perfectly fine. I'm okay. And she's like, no, no, I want to
You
be
don't
friends
have
with both of you. No, it's fine. If you don't ever want to talk to me, then I completely understand.
She literally stopped. She's like,
She's like,
Don't make a decision right now.
don't make the decision
Yeah.
right now. Like think about it. But you don't have to be friend. Like, and she's like, wait, like what?
Yeah.
I like that too. That
In
was
case
funny.
anyone didn't see the last episode, it's about couples brunch, and something happens, and America's been attacked by chemical weapons, and
Yeah.
they're trapped inside this house, and
Yeah.
they start learning things that they didn't really know about each other.
Right.
So-
And yeah, so like basically like their shitty lives kind of continue going on while the world falls apart around them. It's really great.
Yeah.
I've had a good time.
I did too.
I
I thought
enjoyed
it was
I
good.
think
I
it could have
liked
been
it.
funnier. You're right. It
Yes,
could-
there could have been a
They
few
needed-
more jokes. There could have been a
The
few more
jokes
things.
like
But
where
it
the
was
one
pretty
guy
But it was great.
who's dating America Ferrera, they've been together but they're not married, and he's like, I'm getting in a car. Who's with me? And then they get in the car and they realize the battery's dead, and then they all get out of the car. That's funny.
But
Yeah.
there's
It was hilarious.
Yes.
But there's a plot hole right there because before that, the husband and the wife were having an argument in the car.
Yeah.
So how did she not know that the car's been on?
No, they
Well,
ran the battery
they
down,
ran the
listening
battery
to the
down,
radio.
listening to the radio.
That's why there was no
Everyone's been
battery.
listening to the radio
but they
the whole time.
they blame it on David Cross's character. Like you were
No.
the last one in the car,
And then he
they're
says,
like,
no, it was her.
It was her listening to
Yeah.
rock music.
Yeah, so
but
they fixed
technically, it was the
I think the
divorcing
battery
couple.
was probably dead by the time the divorcing couple got in.
But she rolls down the window.
She does.
Oh yeah.
And she is also
Jared
listening.
broke it.
She's also listening to the radio while they're talking.
Yeah.
you.
The point is that they
Thank you.
left the car on and no one really thought about it.
Yeah.
But
Anywho,
and they could
you
shift the
think they're
blame.
gonna go somewhere. You
But
think
they
it's gonna, and
could've
then they
took
turn
the
it on.
Yeah.
I like that. I
I'm
think it's
saying.
fun.
And Kim pointed out that
But whose car also runs out that fast their battery?
I
Like,
know.
usually it's like a
Yeah,
couple hours.
well, if you're just running the radio,
like-
it would take like
not like an hour.
several hours. Agreed.
well, Kim pointed out that the opening scene is
Oh,
the
yeah.
1812 overture,
Yeah.
and he turns it off too early.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
So we build up to this big climax, and
And then we don't
it.
get to see the end. That was the whole
And
point.
that's what happens at
I
the
liked
end.
Yes.
it.
At the end,
Yeah,
yes.
it was
Go back on.
brilliant.
No,
it was
that-
only like a
that
day or
was
two
good.
after. I was like, hey.
They told you what was going to happen right at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's great. I thought it was great.
I had fun
I was
with it.
surprised happily. So yeah.
Good
I
job.
liked it.
Thanks.
And
It
then
was the last second pick. I was
Yeah.
watching it while I was making dinner.
like Tom said, the America Ferrera, whatever, the ugly Betty chick, right?
Mm-hmm.
She kind of ruined it for me when they're having the fight in the bedroom, and like he's like, I'm gonna kick it, and then she comes in and she's like, I'm all crazy, and she's playing the. That was just over the top. Come on, like you could have just had them fighting and then
Yeah.
the window break,
I-
not have like.
I do like how that fight
so
ends though.
crazy because I'm on drugs and I'm drunk. Like, come
I
on,
don't know.
go
I
fuck
did like
yourself.
when Cross and what's his face are just hanging out.
Oh
with
my
his
God!
wife.
Yes.
And then he just that random conversation that they have.
Oh yeah.
And then he uses that as the basis for telling his
Right.
wife that we should tear them.
Yes,
off,
yes,
telling
yes.
them about
Yeah.
the divorce. It was like I was just like, wow, this could be good.
Yeah, it
I was
was.
obviously
Yeah.
a little disappointed, but
So
Well,
what
like I
about
said,
homework for
5 out of
next
10.
time?
Jared,
I think it's Jared's turn. Yeah.
It's a movie that I just saw on there. It sounded good, so I picked it. I haven't seen it. I'm seeing it this first time with you guys.
Okay.
So,
Do you want to watch the
that's
trailer for it?
Citizen Gangster. Sure.
Okay. Are you ready over there?
Yes.
All right. Cool. This is Citizens Gangster from 2011. I think it is.
Just tired of his working and struggling all the time.
We're not the only ones struggling.
This is before he becomes a daywalker, right?
Is he in?
He's tired. Combat fatigue. Is this for real?
Quick and quiet.
Everybody down!
What's she smiling about? Eddie,
I got a job. Hello, ladies.
why don't you tell us about your work?
Money, money, money. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Mr. Boyd, one for the Daily Star. You're a decent family man. You're a decorated soldier. What went wrong? Life's way too short. It was time to start living.
When are you coming back?
I don't know, kiddo. No, you're not the only bank robber in this joint. More guys I can hit bigger banks, better banks. Can we get the hell out of here? Let's hit tomorrow.
Get down on the ground! Your attention, please. We are the Boy Gang. Welcome to the show.
I'm scared. I'm scared for the kids. I'm scared for us.
That's why you gotta stop doubting me all the time. I'm fixing things.
Some of the girls, they talk about you.
Oh, yeah? What about?
About what you'd be like.
He can't go on.
We did it!
He's still my boy. A few more jobs, and everything changes for us.
The call went out. 2,000 police had begun the hunt.
Your father, he warned me about my life with you.
Now, who do you think I'm doing this for? This is for you! All of this is for you!
Now that you're famous, but quite like you'd expected, I bet, eh?
There you go.
Written and directed by Nathan Morlando.
Stop it.
That's his name. It's when you've got some Orlando, but you want a little more Orlando.
Yes.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
All right, that's the show for tonight, everybody. Wow.
Yes. It wasn't me for once.
He just wanted, to do it to someone else.
Thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Once again, leave comments for us below or on our Twitters or wherever else you may be able to get a hold of us at timespentpoorly.com.
Yes.
Call us whenever we're doing the shows at 1-888-317-2694.
Just like Derek did
at the beginning of the show. Once again, thank you guys for listening. Also, listen to the greatest podcast of all time. Which
agreed.
is Anger Management with me, Sir Jarod.
That's right.
And
shout out to Derek's podcast since he called in.
Also, shout out to at the Derek Young Experience and at Thomas's other podcast, which is
The Cake is a Lie.
Because I don't know how it's lying, because it's cake and it's not a human being. But
it's not
whatever.
true.
Oh.
We know how the cake is a lie.
And there's also in the works getting another show back on the road that was on hiatus for quite a while. Katie Reed's Nerdgasm's coming back pretty soon.
Nice.
Since we're shouting out, my friend Mike has a podcast called The Mike Romiski Show, and the flagship podcast, my podcast, the Time Spent Poorly podcast.
We're the only ones without two podcasts.
Oh, man.
Hey,
I feel so inadequate.
That can
You guys
change.
should do something about
Trust
that.
me, that can change.
We want to hear more from you.
Board games.
We should.
Ooh.
Let us know if anyone out there wants a board game podcast, because I don't think anyone does.
I do.
I'd watch all of them.
You don't.
I'd watch it.
Jared, you came to the house and played the board game.
We were just talking about how we want to do it again.
I really want to play that flicky game.
Yeah, that's
again.
fun.
Yeah.
The temple one again.
Yes.
Escape.
Yes, we got to do that one again sometime.
Oh my gosh, there's so many.
Yes.
And then the other game where Lewis won for some reason all the time because he's a cheater.
We won't play that.
Oh my god, that
The
one.
greatest
Yeah.
wizard, mage, whatever.
Lost Legends.
Jeez.
That one was
okay.
tough.
So, anyways, guys, thank you for listening. He has your baby. Remember that.
He has your baby. He has your baby. He has your baby.
How's that not scary? That's so scary.
And as always, you guys have a wonderful movie night.